Back, everybody. It is time for What's Hot. This is where we talk about the stories that have everybody talking.
We're joined today by Klein from Boelter+Lincoln, and Jeff Wagner is back. For most low-wage workers, calling in sick, it means they're not going to get paid. But several cities are trying to change that. In April, New York City will require companies with 20 or more employees to pay up to 5 days of paid sick leave. Should all workers get paid sick time?
Well, I mean, here's the question. We don't live in this world where everything just happens magically. I'd love to be able to eat pizza all the time and not gain weight. You can't do that. You can say you got to pay sick time, and then my question is, okay, where is that money going to come from? I mean, this is the law of unintended consequences. Raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, everybody's going to be happy. No, the people don't have the money to pay it. Jobs are going to be lost. This is the same thing. Is it nice? Yeah. Tell me who's going to pay for it, though.
Yeah, this is a tough one that I'm not sure which side I agree with. I mean, I think, you know, it ties back to the whole raising of minimum wage. If you raise the minimum wage, then more is going to be expected of these type of jobs. But at the same time, you know, most of the people in these positions are trying to also support a family, and there are instances where their children get sick or they themselves get sick, and you know, it's not entirely fair that they should be docked a day's worth of pay because they catch the flu just like everybody else. So, you know, I see it from both sides.
I also think a lot of people, I think we mentioned this too, that show up to work sick.
Right.
Because they don't get the day paid, and then that causes a problem in the workplace environment also for other employees. Sure,
because you don't want somebody coming to work and then infecting everybody else. I get all that, but at the same time, you still, this has to be paid for somehow. And I guess my thinking is, if you want to work at a place that gives you like sick benefits, sick time benefits and stuff, okay, develop those skills, stay in school, do whatever, and then once you're in demand, you can get those type of jobs. I just don't think government can mandate this.
I don't know if that's a reality for everyone. Well, I mean, not everybody can go to school.
Right.
But
there's like an interim period that there's going to have to be like a short-term job that someone's going to have to work until they can get to the level where they can get a full-time job with benefits. Right, and it's that interim period that's kind of shaky.
But the truth is, they're beginning jobs. They're entry-level jobs. Lots of these jobs are part-time jobs. That's just the way they're set up to be. They're not supposed to be family-supporting jobs. They're not designed to that because the jobs aren't worth $15 an hour in sick benefits. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's the reality.
All right, coming up next, we reveal the viewer's choice topic of the day.
Brian Goddard also takes another look at the cold forecast, and there's some snow headed our way.
That looks cold.
It's topic of the day.
Again, we are joined by Klein and Jeff Wagner from 620 WTMJ. The cost of going to college is not cheap. The U.S. Department of Education reports the average price of attending a four-year university increased by $1,700 between 2008 and 2012. Do you believe, though, that universities are money pits, or is it a worthwhile investment in your future?
Oof, that's a tough one. I mean, it's definitely worthwhile. There's a lot that you get out of going to college, and there's a lot that it can do for you in your career path, whichever that may be. The downside to that is that most of us who did have to pay for our own education are now paying for it for the unforeseeable future. And that can put a strain on other type of economic situations. And I think, you know, kids younger than me are even in worse position if they have to take out the loans to support themselves going to college. And most opt to just hop right into the workforce because it's too intimidating to take on that kind of debt.
Well, see, this is one that always makes me want to climb up on my soapbox because the truth is, I think education is great. I treasure the fact that I have a law degree and things like that. But the truth is, college isn't right for everybody. Right. There's lots of people who belong in the trades. That's where their aptitude is. And, you know, I mean, look, I have nothing against English majors, but the truth is, you know, if you've got somebody whose aptitude is plumbing, electrician, whatever, you can come out, you can get an apprenticeship, you can make a bunch of money. It's not necessarily that they're money pits. It's just that I think we're funneling too many people into that type of education that maybe their time would be better spent somewhere else.
See, I disagree with you, though, because there are a lot of students who might not necessarily be cut out to be a plumber. And would prefer to go to college and simply can't because of the economic situation that they're in, or they can only go part-time or for a short period of time because they only have so much money to go around. And it's so much harder to get loans these days than when it was when I went to college.
Well, and there are fewer jobs and fewer well-paying jobs, so then the loan becomes even more astronomical on the other side.
All right, lightning round time now.
Fisher-Price has taken the baby bouncer to a whole new level. They added an iPad. Folks are upset. One person commenting on this says this has to be one of the worst ideas for a baby product.
I agree.
Okay, well, wait, but Courtney, Mom.
I'm going to imagine that Mom here is going to say,
Yeah.
whatever entertains the kid for a
no
little
way.
while.
That's not what I'm going to say. No, because I mean, you still have to come back and keep pushing things because an infant
The return
can't
to
work
push
an
things.
iPad. No, I mean, all you need are some toys. Dangling for an infant. I mean, you know, my son didn't start with the iPad until just recently, and he's 2.
And now he's better than you.
Well, he can figure things out, yes. But he watches like the nursery rhyme things and counting and letters, but you don't know.
As much as I adore technology,
I don't get it.
There's just a time and a place for everything, and sticking it in front of, or forcing it in front of your newborn's face like that is unacceptable and uncalled for. Interact with your child, let them discover their own things on their own, not from a screen.
I don't even know if they would, at what age.
Okay, it's Jimmy Buffett Friday.
Yeah.
You could
Perfect
focus
tune.
on that.
Everybody's on the phone. I mean, that's just, this would start an even lower. Just give them the iPhone. You know, let them play with that. Let them start talking.
Straight to the phone.
Right, here's the bottom line. I mean, I remember when my niece and nephew were younger, we'd spend all these money on toys. They'd be just as happy playing with the box. You know, and I'd sit there and say, why did we drop all that dough on the toy?
Like
just
Christmas,
give them the
they
box.
like the wrapping paper until a certain age.
Exactly. You don't need the iPad. Just give them the box or
I still
whatever.
like playing with the box. It's fun
But you know,
sometimes.
somebody's going to buy this iPad thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But not you.
No.
I'll make sure I don't. I'll take that off your registry.
She will
Courtney.
dangle blocks from the ceiling in front of the kid's face and then is bad at them.
Give them the box.
They'll probably learn more,
Give 'em the
honestly.
All right, happy Friday to you both. The What's
Happy
Hot
Friday.
discussion will continue now online. Find that at tmj4.com.